Hi everyone, it's Hannah from Hand Done Crochet, and today in the tutorial I am going to show you how to make these cute little pumpkins. Now they are based on my pumpkin hat pattern, which has been really popular for a long time, and I suddenly thought, you know what, I want to make some pumpkins that can either stack on top of each other or decorate your table flat or put onto a wreath or whatever you would like really. So let's make one. I've put all the information in the description below to show you that this can be made with any yarn, any weight, any size you like. In the pattern, in the written pattern, I have given 4 different sizes. So if you make it with the same weight of yarn, you can make 4 and they stack on top of each other. But you can make, if you make this with a chunky yarn, it will become huge, as I did. Or you can make it with like a DK weight yarn, a category 3 weight yarn, and they can be really, really small. So the key is, as I said in the pattern, to use a slightly smaller hook than recommended for the yarn, because we want the stitches to be nice and tight, and to go for it and have some fun. So I'm going to be showing you it using worsted weight yarn, and this is Brava worsted from We Crochet. It's a really lovely yarn to work with and comes in really lovely autumnal colours. You're also going to need a hook, as I say, slightly smaller than recommended for the yarn, so I've gone with a 4.5mm for the worsted weight. You're going to need a needle for your ends, a pair of scissors, and some stuffing for the middle. You can use anything you like to stuff them with. I've got some proper toy filler here, but I also used a pair of old socks to stuff one of them because they had holes in them and I wasn't going to use them for anything else. So if you've got any yarn scraps or old clothes or anything fabric wise or squishy wise that could go in it, then that will work perfectly. So as I said in the pattern, there are 4 different sizes, so I can use this same weight of yarn to make 4 different versions, but I can also change the yarn weight to make different sizes of those, and there is a table in the pattern to give you estimated sizes for what kind of yarn weight. So I'm going to begin by making a magic ring and then chaining 1. And then we're going to work 12 double crochet into that ring. So US terms here, it's 12 double crochet into that ring. So there we are, that's 12. And we're going to pull our magic ring closed. And then join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Now for round 2, we are going to double the amount of stitches we have. So we're going to do that by chaining 1, and then we're going to work a double crochet into that first stitch. And then we're also going to work a front post double crochet around it. So we scoop up that stitch. That's still the first stitch that we made that first double crochet into. And so now we've got 2 stitches allocated to that first stitch. And then we do that all the way around. We're going to, in the next stitch, work a double crochet and then a front post double crochet around it. So we'll go from a stitch count of 12 up to 24. So stitch number 3 gets a double crochet and a front post double crochet. So work that all the way around, going from 12 to 24 stitches. Here we are at the first stitch, and we're going to slip stitch to join, and then we're ready to work round 3. Now you'll see in the pattern that other sizes carry on increasing so that we have a bigger top and bottom of the pumpkin, but for this size, that's it now. We don't get any more than our 24 stitches that we've already got. So what we're now going to do is carry on following the pattern that we already have. So we chain 1, and for every double crochet, we pop a double crochet. So that's that one there. And then for every front post stitch, we also then put a front post stitch around it. So a front post stitch around the next. So that's our sequence. We have a double crochet and a front post double crochet. So that is our pattern for rounds 3 to 5 of this pumpkin. But if you want to make yours taller or shorter or however you would like it, you just carry on adding more rounds or stop early. It's entirely up to you, and you can make them completely different shapes and sizes. It's really fun to experiment. So go ahead and work as many rounds as you would like for this body section of the pumpkin here, and then meet me back when you are ready to start decreasing and doing the bottom of the pumpkin. So now I have got to the end of round 4, and I have just weaved in my end here to make sure that my magic ring in the middle is secure. But what you can do is, don't break that yarn, you can use that as a little bit of stuffing in the middle there. And now for the next round, what we're going to be doing is decreasing. We're going to start shaping the bottom of our pumpkin. And to do that, we're going to chain 1 here, and we are going to be working these 2 stitches together. We're going to decrease and make these 2 stitches into 1. So we do that by beginning a double crochet in that first one, and then we're going to be starting a double crochet in the next one. But because the next one is a post stitch, we want to carry on that theme as we go down. So you yarn over and you work a post stitch here, or part of a post stitch. You yarn over and pull through 2, and then you yarn over and pull through all 3, and that decreases your 2 stitches there down to 1. And you just repeat that all the way around. So we've got the next 2 stitches here, we've got a double crochet and a front post double crochet. So you begin your double crochet and then you go into the front post of the next one, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through all 3. Same again with the next one. And so we're going to decrease from 24 stitches down to 12. Here we are at the beginning again, and we're going to slip stitch into that first one to join. And then for our final round, we're going to decrease again. But now we have just these crocheted stitches together here. But what I'm going to suggest we do is just use the posts of each of the stitches. So we're going to chain 1, and then you're going to skip this part of the stitch here and just go around the post part of the stitch here. Begin a stitch there, and then we're going to skip this whole section and go into the post part of the next one. And we're going to work those 2 together. And we go for the next one. And we're going to go down from 12 to 6 stitches here. So find that post stitch, and then the next one, and work those together. Now you can stuff before you do this round if you like, but I tried that and I didn't like it as much as if I stuffed right at the very end. Here we are at the beginning. So before you slip into that stitch there, I would break your yarn, leaving a decent tail to weave your ends in, and just leave that stitch hanging while we stuff the pumpkin. So grab whatever it is you've decided to stuff your pumpkin with, and then just tease it into the hole, and just basically stuff it until you're happy with the size and the shape. I liked mine quite flat. Then when you're happy, you can slip stitch into that first stitch, which is just here. Or gets more fiddly the further you go, doesn't it? The smaller you go. And then what we're going to do is just pop the yarn on a needle, and then I secured around the edge, but I did it by going through the stitches because you see they're quite spaced apart right now. So pop that stuffing in, go around the edge, and it will pull nice and tight for you. And this is the bottom of the pumpkin I use it for, but you can use it for the top. It's entirely up to you. Make sure your stuffing is popped in, and then when you're happy you can break your yarn or you can pop it through. That is something that I did for mine because it felt like it made it a bit more shapely. So one and then back through again, and then that end is nicely hidden in there. And then you need to choose your second colour that you're going to use for your stalk and your leaf, and that's what we'll make next. The stalk and the leaf are all made in one go, and we begin it by making a magic ring, and then we chain one. Now it will tell you in the pattern, like, you can make this as big or as small as you like, this stalk, so go for as many stitches as you would like, but I'm going to pop 6 in here. So 6 single crochet, and then we pull the close, and then all we're going to do for the whole of the stalk is just work a single crochet in each of those stitches. So you can work as many rounds as you like, and that will make your the more you do, the higher and the taller your stalk will become. So let's do a few rounds here. So once you have got as many rounds as you like for your stalk, we're ready to make these twirly bits, and these can be, there's 2 different options in the pattern. You can make them really super twirly, or you can make them just gently twirly, shall we say it. And the way that we do that is we slip stitch into the next stitch here, and then you chain out any amount that you would like. So the length, obviously it needs to be longer than you would like your twirl then to be, because it is going to shorten when it curls up. And you can either work a slip stitch into the second and each back along the line, or you can work 2 single crochet into them. Now that makes it a lot bigger and a lot twirlier, but they're really fun when you do it like that. So the choice is yours. So I'm going to pop 2 single crochet here into the second chain from the hook. So maybe have a go at a few different versions and see which you prefer. And then when you run out of chains, we're ready then to slip stitch back into that stalk, and we're going to do that into the next 2 stitches. In the pattern, I've done 2 twirls per stalk, but you can do 1, you can do 2, you can do none. It's entirely up to you. The next part I want to show you is how to do the leaf. Now we carry on with our working yarn, and we're going to chain 10. And now we're going to work back along that chain, and in the second chain from the hook we work a single crochet, and then in the next 2 chains as well. And now we're going to work a half double crochet, because we want our leaf to get bigger, in the next 3. So that's 1, 2 and 3, and then we want to get bigger still, so we've got 3 left, and we're going to pop a double crochet in them. So 1, 2 and 3, and now we need to get across to work on the opposite side of this chain here now. So we're going to do that by slip stitching into the side of that double crochet, slip stitching into the end of the stalk here, just in there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and that will take us across the back of the leaf. Now we're ready to work along this side of the leaf, and we're going to match the stitches that we did on the other side. So we start with a double crochet, almost missed it. So 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then we're ready to do our half double crochet, 3 of those. So 1, 2 and 3, and then we single crochet in the last 3. And now we're going to slip stitch in that first one to join, and that's our leaf complete. Now we break our yarn, and we are going to weave in this end here first of this leaf. So just pop it through and then weave it in at the back of your leaf. And then we are going to use this tail to secure the stalk and the leaf onto our pumpkin. So pick the side that you want to attach it to, and then I just scoop through the side of one or two of those stitches, and then it pulls us into the center. And then I just use the stitches that go around the edge of the stalk here to secure it in place. Just work underneath your leaf, pop that there, and sew it in place. Now you can stuff the stalk if you would like to, but I didn't find that I needed to with mine. It depends, obviously if you're making them a lot bigger and a lot taller, then you might find that you need to. All the way around till you're back to the beginning. And then I found it worked really well if you go down through the pumpkin again like we did with the other end, and it helps pull it down a bit and position it in place, and then secure down here. And there we have it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed making these cute little pumpkins. Do come and find me and do come and show me the versions that you make. I would love to see them.